On today's episode of Garage Talk, we dig into the Roval.
And somehow that conversation goes into sports betting.
Yeah, and then we got to talk about Papaya rules because that could be a mess coming up. All that more right now.
All right, welcome to an all new episode of FR Racing's Garage Talk. I'm DJ Plug.
I'm Eric Richardson.
So this episode's coming out a little later than usual. We had actually medical issues on both sides of the Zoom here yesterday, so we didn't get to record. So
Yeah, life happens.
yeah, so we're getting it in. So this literally after I hit stop here, I'm going right to edit, and then it's going to go to publish. So this is going to be the quickest turnaround of an episode ever, I think. Actually,
So
when we first started, we used to release this at like 5 o'clock on Fridays, and we'd record it around this time on like Friday morning, and then publish it Friday afternoon. And so that was a quick turnaround, but it's old school garage talk apparently.
we've had some different times of
Yeah,
filming this.
yeah, it's a little evolved. It was like, here, let's do it Friday morning, and then it's like, let's start recording this after Wednesday Night Dash in Wednesday evening, and then I edit it on Thursday, publish it Friday. Yeah, we tried for a while to make it seem like it was being published and or recorded and published the same day, but then that was not
We can
much of a.
never keep track of what day we are.
Yeah, it's like, hey, remember what happened tonight? I mean, Wednesday night. That didn't work. But and some interesting news across the sport, starting in the world of NASCAR. We are on to the round of eight.
Yes, we are.
Not without some drama.
And this is where the question mark was going to be, does SVG get through the initial round of 16? As if he got to a Roval, he'd move on, but
Yeah,
fortunately that didn't happen.
no, he's just so good. Did you see the videos they were saying of like here's like it was like NASCAR drivers practicing their footwork for the road course to try to keep up with SVG, and it was somebody in a sim, and yeah, they're trying to do the heel toe and using the clutch, and then all of a sudden a third foot comes in and starts working the throttle while they're trying, and the foot's getting crossed up and everything. It
Yeah,
just
pretty much.
his footwork is just straight up art at the road courses. Just how amazing he is, and it's just that the background with supercars and where he comes from. That's give him plenty of opportunities to work on that.
Yeah, that's just such a lost art in the racing.
You ask so many drivers nowadays about using their clutch, like, nah, just match RPMs.
Yeah, they just sequence shift and match it and go for it.
The there was talk when the next gen was in development if it was even going to have a clutch pedal. And there was talk initially that they weren't going to include one. And ultimately they decided to include one, but it seems like it doesn't get used all that terribly often.
Yeah, it's not the late 90s, early 2000s watching NASCAR at the Glen or Sonoma, especially when they'd have the pedal cams and you just
Oh
see the feet
yeah.
going all over the place.
They'd show like Ricky Rudd or somebody like that with the pedal cams, and he was really good too. Not SVG good, but like old school driver good at with the footwork. But the bigger stories is the drama leading up to the into the last lap with Ross and Denny, and
Yeah,
Ross
Ross
Chastain misses out.
dumped out Denny again. The funny thing is, Denny wasn't mad about it.
Well, I mean, if he would have been knocked out, I'm sure he would have been fuming. But
Oh yeah, if he got knocked out of a playoff spot, he would have not been happy. But
yeah, he was good. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, that sucks. But
but he's kind of going at it from the angle of I want to know what's the standings are and where things are going.
eh,
Because he would it was basically between Ross Chastain and Joey Logano of who got the transfer spot.
And on the last lap, it was tied. Ross needed to get ahead of Denny, so he sent it, and they both ended up backwards.
Hmm.
And now you have the iconic Ross trying to finish the race backwards. Did you see they took the clip of the Cars movie with Daryl Waltrip? They're driving backwards.
Yeah, Denny's bigger thing is he wanted to know what the points were. Is knowing that, I think he would have just let Ross by
He might have, yeah. I mean, it's
because his whole take was, I want to know what's going to be best for me. Is it going to be racing the one in Phoenix or racing the 22 in Phoenix?
and
I'd rather race the one.
we know how that goes. So it's to the point that if you get a Penske car into the last four, which there's two left after Cindric misses out. If the 12 of the 22 get into Phoenix, probably one of them will be.
Yeah, it's just about game over at that point.
Yeah. And it's to the point where it's like you're looking back at the last Las Vegas winners. I think Logano won last year when he snuck back in after Alex Bowman's disqualification. Then he won at Las Vegas. Logano also won at Las Vegas in 22, which ended up putting him into Phoenix and getting him his second championship. 23 was Blaney. So yeah, 22, 23, 24 Penske cars. And they just
Hmm.
have Phoenix dialed down that one of them get in, one or both of them get in, you can flip a coin as far as probably who's going to end up winning on championship weekend. Another reason why people wanted Phoenix to go
Yeah.
because they know Penske has the advantage.
Well, it seems like every cutoff race now, there ends up being talk of race manipulation.
Yep.
Is Denny's actually kind of under fire because of wanting to know the point standings and what Cole Custer and Alex Bowman, their spotters are kind of coming under question if they were trying to manipulate outcomes or not racing as they should have. Is they're being told to make sure the save your tires.
I mean,
We're on the last lap. What are we saving tires for?
Cole Custer, remember he got busted a few years back at the Roval
Hmm.
for a scandal. Um, and the Chevy Mafia has been under fire for the last, there's
And
been
especially
some,
because Bowman was coming up on the one car.
Martinsville last year with the Chevy Mafia holding up, as
Is it the
Christopher
one in the
Bell,
three sitting behind the 24 protecting?
yeah, protecting the 24 and Christopher Bell's infamous now just penalized wall ride at Martinsville last year, but
And he got in trouble when he got on the wall and then he gassed it.
yep,
If he had gotten separation from the wall and then gassed it, he's good.
yep, it is that close. But I did it. I sent you a text last night. I did it. Logano is a 1,200 to 1 to win again, just like he was last year going into the Vegas race. So I threw another 20 on it. Or actually, I think I put 25 this time.
I
So
should send you $10 and have you put down 10 for me. He's still at 1200.
let's,
Just
yeah. He was on the Caesars. Yeah, so I looked at Caesars and MGM. MGM has him as 1,000 to 1, and Caesars had him as a 1,200 to 1 with the lowest odds of the bottom eight. It's like, didn't you learn your lesson last year, Caesars? But they probably assume he's the here's a fun one. So there's a Caesars for this weekend's Las Vegas race. There's a top they call it it's a prop bet called top of their class. And it's the it's a plus 5,500. So a $10 bet wins you $550 if the top Ford is Logano, the top Chevy is Larson, and the top Toyota is Reddick.
oh man, that's actually a pretty good over under
It is a
at
pretty good
Vegas.
one. I mean, it's the Reddick one. It's like if that was Christopher Bell, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. I mean, Reddick is still I mean, all three are solid. Here's a plus 1600 if all of these drivers finish in the top 10 this weekend. Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch. And out of that list, Kyle Busch is the question mark, which, three
Kyle
years
Busch on
ago,
there.
yeah, 3 years ago, you would never have said that. Anyway, so looking at
Yeah,
the
for the giggles, I just need Cindy $10 and put me down for
put you for
Joey.
another 10, for another Joey. Let's see. Where are the futures? Uh, he is now plus 1,000. Ever.
Ah, not worth the return.
Yeah. Actually, right now, Caesars has Blaney as plus 400, Larson 450, Hamlin 450, Bell 500, Byron 600, Chase Elliott 800, and then Logano and Briscoe are at the bottom at plus 1,000.
Yeah, even at
It's,
that, what, $10 bet wins
I
$100.
mean, yeah. I
It
mean,
may still be worth it.
a $10 bet pays, yeah, 110. So,
Yeah, maybe I will.
yeah, well, it's funny too with the Logano bet. Um, I placed this bet no more than 6 hours ago. And it's almost like Caesar's like, that's the guy who went
We're
1,200
gonna
on
get
us
a
last
lot of
year.
action if we go 1200. So
Yeah,
do it.
they're like the guy who went 1,200 on Logano last year just bet him on him again.
Gotta move it.
I shifted the market. I'm gonna go ahead and sell that narrative now.
And if
I
you do that and he ends up winning again, I will be a Joey fan. There, you say it.
well, I mean, actually, I did this on purpose today. I pulled the Logano shirt out because I'm back on the 1,200 to one. Let's do it. Let's run it
I'm not
back.
in the NCAA anymore. I can bet on
That's
any
right.
sport I want.
That's right. You don't have that holding you back. Is sports betting not legal in Florida?
I don't know. I gotta look into it actually. I'm sure it
I
is.
kind of figured it would be at this point.
Actually get out of the NCAA and like, no, you can't bet on sports anymore, or still because you're in Florida. Being in college the last 6 years, I just can't bet on sports because of various NCAA rules. Because I have such a massive
Uh,
influence on the outcome of a NFL game.
so the law in Florida is that sports betting is legal. However, the Seminole tribe has sole control of it. So
Interesting.
the only app you can use is the Hard Rock Bet app.
That explains why there's so much Hard Rock down here.
So they signed a 30-year agreement with the state. So
Wow.
FanDuel, DraftKings are allowed to do their daily fantasy sports, but they're not allowed to offer sports betting.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Maybe I think I could do Hard Rock Bet in here. Maybe we get Hard Rock Bet to sponsor us. Hey, Seminole
This
Tribe.
just goes to show you how much time I spend on sports betting.
I this is my first
I don't.
this is my first bet since I won the Logano bet last year. So yeah, that just shows you how yeah they're making this.
There are there are two bets that I've made, and it's both times that have been in Vegas.
I mean,
Those are the most sports bets I've ever made.
I love betting on baseball in Vegas. And not like
Actually, I take that back. I think I bet on the Kentucky Derby once.
I also have won. I got the 2012 Indy 500 one with my $5 bet on Dario to win, and his car was on display at the museum, the 2012, and I walked up to it like, yeah, you're the one that won me the bet in Vegas. But the betting on baseball in Vegas is a lot of fun, especially like you get your drinks and your cigars, and you go to like either Caesars where they have that area in the corner with the tables that you could just sit at the tables and Bellagio's and yeah, between Caesars and Bellagio, those were the two favorites. They had those like recliners in the Bellagio that you could sit and watch. And the big secret I would use is there's so much data on ESPN.com for baseball with these like ridiculous, the ridiculous, they pull out these stats like, oh, this guy is 6-0 in night games when they play on artificial turf. It's it,
And I don't want to get into all that stuff. I just want to bet on who wins or loses.
it, and that's what it is. Yeah. So like I used this, like this was 2011. I was in Las Vegas and I grabbed the sheet. They put the sheet out the night before for the next day games. I'd go back to my hotel room, I'd pull out my laptop and I'd circle the ones that caught my eye right away, and then I'd start looking at the pitching matchups for those games and how the records are. And there was a game where it was like the Pirates versus the Cardinals. And the Pirates are traditionally pretty crappy. And it was a pretty decent run line, so they had to win by 2 runs or more to hit that one. But like it was a night game and it was a home game for the Pirates and the Cardinals were really good but the stats lined up that the Pirates were pretty favorable, and so I went and I placed like $40 on that game and won like $200 or something. And I did that like 2 other times. I bet on like 5 games and won 3 out of 5.
Not
And
bad.
and so like I paid for that trip with airline points. The hotel room on the Strip, which you'll never again get this, at least not until Vegas bankrupts itself again. It was like $60 a night at Harrah's on the Strip. And so like I actually came back with more money like than when I left because of
That's not bad.
all my winnings. And then I get back and the parking lot my car was in flooded and my car was a flood loss.
Oh,
So I had to file an insurance claim and get a new car because while I was in Vegas, they had torrential
hey,
rains and
congrats, you won, but
yeah,
you
yeah,
lost your car.
the Vegas gods got me back and basically I had to restart my car payment at that point that I was 2 years into. So I had an extra
Oh,
2 years of car payments basically, which is the car I just got, the replacement car is the one I just got rid of last year.
no,
So,
it's funny. As painful as it was for us, the last sports bet I probably would have made was a couple years ago. It would have been Purdue and Fairleigh Dickinson.
I don't
Because
know.
I would have put money down on FDU to win.
And
And
they
we
did.
we know what happens.
And we know what happened.
People came in to practice the next day and they're like, Coach, how did you know that was going to happen? It's like, don't ask.
So we just
I'm moving on.
Hard Rock does have an affiliate program. We should get on a Hard Rock bet. Start running Hard Rock
Oh,
bet
we
cars.
should get Wednesday Night Dash on the prop line.
Start wagering on sim racing. Oh, that would be just straight up degenerate. Imagine that every week they put out an odd sheet on who's gonna win.
Got the odds scrolling on the bottom.
I'll be down there at like Cody Ware levels every week.
Jackson's going in. The odds have updated after that incident in turn four.
I mean, yeah, that would be funny in the short term, but it's like just like everything else. It's just we've oversaturated the sports betting market. That it's just
Yeah,
everything is just like for a while it was like the daily fantasy sports crap and fantasy sports and then it's just like, hey, take this bet. Oh, look at this guy, it's plus 250 if he gets over 100 rushing yards this weekend. And it's like, ugh, just,
there's too much and they've gone too far. When you have athletes that are getting threats and terrible
well,
messages like,
and on
you
top,
didn't hit 100 yards rushing for me, or why did you not score 20 points tonight?
I mean, that's also happened during fantasy sports too. It's like, you
Mhm.
cost me your fantasy championship when you threw 4 interceptions this weekend.
Because you chose to not play, and
Oh,
that's when it's too bad.
that's partly why I stopped playing fantasy sports. Is it's just the people I was playing with just got way too into it. I'm just like, dude, just chill. It's
I
fantasy
just want to have fun.
football. It's fantasy football.
I want to have fun, watch some games, and have a minor interest in the random game that starts at 4.
I mean, it does. When you're watching a game you have no rooting interest in and you put a little money down on a winner, it's fun adding the interest, but yeah, it's just too much.
Mhm.
Uh, actually, I was just thinking it's like maybe we should license our own sports book and just start having like esports betting.
That'll be the next one to come up.
There you go. Stadium scene bet.
So we've now gone from Roval to talking about sports betting.
Yeah, the
Not one of the weirder combinations we've
well,
had on this
but I
show.
mean, it was
It all
directly
goes
tied
hand in
in.
hand.
It,
Yeah,
it it's
with
directly tied in with the Logano bets and everything. So
Joey getting in at the Roval on something crazy again.
again, and having the same odds as last year, which hit. Yeah, it's Connor's. Side note on that with the race manipulation, Connor Zilich's spotter got in trouble on Saturday. Connor asked, who's safely into the next round, asked his spotter what the standings look like at that point, and his spotter read the standings off the screen, and his spotter got a verbal no no no. Um,
And
yeah,
that's just where does it end?
I
Because
mean,
those are
I get it.
more.
Like so the rule is apparently the rule is if you are directly impacted, like if your spotter comes out and says, "Hey, you got to get past this guy to get yourself into the top 8." That's one thing. That's fine. But if you're safely in or you're not involved in the playoffs at all and they're reading off the thing, then that could be seen as race manipulation. And that is not okay. And
And
that's what the rule apparently is, which I get
let's
it.
just get rid of the playoffs, and then we don't have to worry about it.
A lot of calls for that. There's articles this week like have the
There's getting
playoffs.
some trending that it may go away. Go back to a 36. Or if 36 is too much, you know what? Let's just have a 32 race season.
I mean, if you really want to have like a bonus period or have like the last races mean more, maybe you give extra bonus points for winning the races towards the end of the year. Create more incentive for winning.
Or you want to do something wild and have a double points race.
They did that IndyCar
Final race of
at
the year. Let's do a double points.
or they did that with the Indy 500 a few years ago.
They did. And it was what, like 3 or 4 races that were double points throughout the course. I think maybe actually it wasn't just the
You,
500.
you want to get gimmicky with the double points race? Is that you like we don't know if it's a points race until like race day. And right before they give the command, they take like a Wheel of Fortune wheel that says double points, regular points, and they have the guy commanding the starters to spin the wheel. And it's like double points race.
If you're coming to the green flag and you see Michael Waltrip getting ready to wave it, that's a double points race. Just hope for no caution on the start because of a drop
Oh
flag.
man, that would become so gimmicky. Like it just screams like TV game show right there. Doing that is you got the wheel of anything spinning that. Yeah, that would be again. That would be funny like the first time, but it's like, oh, here comes the double points wheel again.
Let's do this. Let's have a 30 race season for your championship, and then you have 3 extra races, and it runs as a series. You got the Clash early, the All-Star race in the middle of the season, then you have a year-end race, and do that for a bunch of money or something. There are 3 exhibition races, but put a bunch of money on it.
Hmm, well, at
You
least
still
with
get 33 races. You have your full season championship, and then you have your playoff deal. Finish in the top half of the field at the Clash, then you're able to move on. If you finish in the top half at the All-Star race, then you're down to what, 10 cars? You're all fighting at the end. There
I
you
mean,
go.
you look at last year with Logano getting into the top 8. He wins the next week at Vegas, and then at Talladega and Martinsville, what does he do? He just hangs in the back. his car was not competitive at all. I mean,
No,
Talladega, but Martinsville, he was not competitive at all. He wasn't pushing hard. He's out there. It's almost like I'm here because I have to be.
and to me again, right there, it's race manipulation.
Yeah. It's just
You are taking yourself out of contention,
because you've already safely locked yourself in and you're spending all
which
your
you're
time and
going,
resources prepping for Phoenix.
yeah, you're going to move somebody else up, which is then going to change the points outcome.
I mean, you've already locked yourself in. So
Yeah, I'm here because I just have to be.
I'm here so I don't get fined.
Yeah,
All right. So we got Vegas this weekend. Do we have anyone other than a Penske driver winning this race this weekend?
I think you got to put them up there.
Yeah, as
I
long as they
think
don't.
the script for Penske is go out, get Vegas, then you can chill for 2 weeks. And
Yeah,
we already know they're set for Phoenix.
yep. I think that's pretty safe to say. So at least next year, going to Homestead again changes things up.
They run well there, but other teams have been better.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'll be fun to see. I think you're going to see Blaney and Logano charging to the front.
it's like almost whoever wins between the two of them this weekend is going to win, or maybe not win, but
And they're going to have a good shot at it.
yeah, yeah, they will. You stay clean, don't have any mistakes on pit road. Probably one of the two that wins.
And if you can turn it to a fuel mileage race, you know you got an extra gallon hidden in that car.
It still cracks
We
me
got
up.
extra long gas lines in there,
Yeah, well,
a
it's
few extra
still.
curves.
You talk about SVG with his footwork. You, the thing that doesn't get talked about enough is those late cautions when fuel is critical. And if you look at Logano's in car and how he's just sitting there on off, on off, on off, just the whole way. And I mean, obviously, this is not a one-to-one experiment. It's not controlled. So I tried that. I did that some testing in the simulator, doing the on-off, driving like a pace speed, and I forget which track I did it. It was a mile and a half track I tested that on. I ended up getting like an extra, just basically doing 2 or 3 laps of pacing where I'm turning the car off and coasting it and then turning it back on, back off again. I got an extra like lap and a half on that tank just doing that on one caution. And just a
Yeah,
lap and a half, you get that right scenario, you get that overtime, you get that extra overtime when everybody else is dropping in for fuel and you got an extra lap and a half. That makes all the difference.
big.
All right, so as we close in on 30 minutes, we did all NASCAR sports betting, but quick on Formula One. Singapore was,
McLaren Papaya rules are about to implode.
I still, Oscar is like not even hiding it anymore, how just furious he is.
I hope here in the last 6 races we just see Darth Oscar show up.
Did you see, I can't remember if it was in the last couple of days, Zak Brown posted like a team selfie photo, and it was like him and Andrea Stella, the two drivers, and then the crew behind them, and like they're all posing, and it was clearly a look, we're good, like we won, the constructors. Congratulations to them, by the way, but yeah, it's like we're good, and it's just
Yeah,
uh,
the whole Singapore, Oscar's not happy. Basically, Norris dove him. They made contact, and he's like, what?
then post race, Zach's giving him his little speech, and he just disconnects the radio.
Yeah, there's stuff there that he disconnected it, or but he's just following proper shutdown procedures, and the timing just worked out like that. And there's all sorts of stuff out there.
It's funny. Just the last 2 weeks, you've had Bubba Wallace flipping off his boss. You've got now Oscar Piastri upset with his boss and pulling the plug on the radio mid pep talk.
Yeah, I think next race out, that's going to confirm if it was just coincident stuff in Singapore or we're about to see Oscar go full Darth Vader.
I mean, that's probably the most interesting storyline left this year. Could you imagine
Yeah,
if, like, I mean, Max is way back there still, but,
he's still alive though.
mathematically
And
he's still alive.
the way it's going, McLaren may just take themselves out of a couple more races and not score any points.
So right now it's Piastri 336, Lando 314, Max 273. So he's back there, but it's like you get a couple dual DNFs or, a low points day and Max wins a couple. It's like now all of a sudden this is a three car.
Hmm.
Could you imagine that if this McLaren feud causes both of them to bottle the driver world championship and Max all of a sudden comes walking in? It's like, I did it again.
It would be hilarious. Like I want to see Max get back into this title fight, but
Yeah,
it'd be
it's
I want to see Oscar win this thing.
people are just, it's like, oh, Max won again, Max won again, Max won again, Max won again. And now he's like off in third, and people are like, let's see Max win again. Just because we want to see this meltdown happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Is- Things are not going in Oscar's favor from a team standpoint.
And poor Ferrari, oof, just can't get out of their own way.
I think you almost need to completely change over leadership there at this point.
And it's like it's the same stuff every time. Ferrari, like Ferrari have arguably gotten worse under Fred as time has gone by with better drivers. I mean, Leclerc's still the same, but they've gotten worse. And
Well, he may be moving here soon.
you've got, Mercedes isn't the Mercedes of a few years ago, but George Russell, that was the second win of the year. You've got Williams closing in on them, which was unthinkable just 2 years ago. You've got Racing Bulls that are not, a little further back, but still, again, closing the gap. And it's just like,
Yeah, Hadjar reportedly getting demoted to Red Bull.
I mean, Ferrari is still third in the constructors because the second Red Bull car can't score points.
Yeah,
Red Bull has 290 points. Max has 273.
yet Checo was the problem.
Yeah, Checo. Yeah, Checo is the problem.
Every Checo hater out there now is like, we were
Sorry.
wrong.
Sorry, we didn't that meme of like sorry the Shaq meme of like we didn't understand your game.
Hey, at least it's on record. I was a Checo fan. I'm glad to see him back in Cadillac.
Yeah, I just he got a raw deal there. That
Hmm.
was not fair at all. But I mean, racing's
No, it's
not
been
fair
proven
either.
now it's the car, but what do you do?
That's what happens. The coach doesn't perform or the team doesn't perform, the coach is the first to go. Driver doesn't perform, the driver goes.
You gotta give somebody more than a dump truck when you're trying to race.
Yeah, Williams has 102 points this year and
He
a
did more
podium.
points this year than like what is it, the last 7 years combined?
Yeah.
Even
Uh,
Kick is scoring points.
Kick has 55 points this season, which they didn't
Last
get
year they had
points.
what, three?
Yeah, they got points in the last race. Like, I mean, even Alpine is who's having a terrible year has 20
Oh,
points.
they are just dismal this year.
I mean, it's like at least they've had, it was kind of downhill after that Brazil dual podium for them.
And driver changes, and it has been confirmed doing is not in contention for a seat next year again.
The yeah, the rumors keep coming up of Christian Horner going to Alpine to become the team principal, and it's just like, why?
It was rumored to Haas and Alpine, Williams. I've seen just got tossed in the mix.
Why? Like, why
Cadillac
will
was in there for a while.
like if Williams I mean, you look at what James Vols has done at Williams over the last what 3 seasons he's been there, 4 seasons now. That team was a dumpster fire when he took over.
Yeah, that's where
And
you just gotta. It doesn't happen overnight,
no, and
and
you
Williams is proving it.
even if you get the investment with the cost cap, you are in such a major disadvantage catching up. And now next year we're kind of on somewhat even footing again with the changes in 26.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where everything truly lines up. Because they've all had the same amount of time. Resources may be different, but it's all new.
I mean, there's already the preliminary talk that the best engine next year right now is looking like Mercedes, which can't say I'm too terribly surprised about that. Have you noticed
Yeah,
like the reaction anytime like Mercedes wins or gets a pole or does something really well and they cut, there's Toto Wolff sitting there with his glasses on. He's just sitting there. He's
this
just
is what I expect.
stone face. Yeah.
When your expectation is to win every pole and win every race, and then you finally get it because you're not getting all of them, it's like, oh, fine.
Relief. Yeah. And that's what sucks too. It's like the joy of winning is gone because the expectation is to win and you can't. Like this is just not I mean even, a couple years ago with Max won almost everything. He didn't win everything. He didn't get every pole, but he was extremely competitive and
Hmm.
I mean there was still joy there. Like you could still see the joy despite the fact he didn't win everything. All right, I think we need to wrap here. Hey, three top tens on the Wednesday night dash this week. Auto Club.
Yeah, had
Mine.
some moments throughout the race, but you had a good run.
I got in that late wreck. I got loose and run into coming out of turn two, and I mean I restarted the overtime in 15th, and I worked my way up to 11th, and then got 10th when Connor got a black flag penalty for his incident count post race. So yeah, going from 15th to 10th in an overtime period. I mean, it's like I wish I would like do that earlier and not not wait till overtime to make the huge
I
run.
did that 3 times.
Yeah, yeah, you did.
I had a yo-yo of a night.
And
Got
you're one
so
off,
unlucky, but luckily I was able to stay on lead lap every time.
and you managed to keep your incident count. You were 12x at the end of
12.
the race.
Well, I was 10, but going into the last turn, I was on the high side and
Bounce the
I was
wall.
just trying to gas it to get into that top five into the payday, but I was playing to bounce off the wall. Like I knew I was going to be hitting the wall. Like I'm going to do it, going to do it. But then Chris lit up too. He did the same thing I did and kind of got stuck. And then Garrett got me at the line.
I
That
was
was a fun race, though. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. There were more cautions than I thought there would be, but it was still it was fun. It was chaotic. We had an overtime finish under green. Yeah, it
Yeah,
just we got everything
finally.
all the boxes checked for a good run, and that always happens with Auto Club. We have a lot of good racing out there. It's
Yeah,
just
it's such a fun track.
it
I think
is.
I could have been in contention for podium had I not had to go through the field 3 times.
Yeah, it
'Cause
just
I started what 10th, I worked up to 7th, and bad pit stop, so I slid back to like 14th, then started moving up again, got in a wreck, slid back.
I
Oh, come on.
so I started 12th and turn two coming out of turn two on lap one, we were three there was three wide and I'm in the
You can
middle.
do that. It's Auto Club.
And yeah, and I'm just like, no, no. And I backed out and let the two go like split me and go by. And I'm just like, no, this is too early
It's
for that.
early. We're gonna have
We
tire wear.
we've got
Let's
60
just
laps
wait.
here, guys. We don't need to be doing three wide on turn two of lap.
Yeah, I slid back like 2 or 3 spots right on the start too.
Well,
I'm gonna
I
bite my
slid all the
tongue.
way back to last, and I had to work my way back up. But I was pretty good on the tire saving, and as the runs went on, I started picking people off again, and
We
that.
had that initial run there of what, about 18 laps to start. But then it was fun as we were going through. We had people on varying pit strategies. It was Rex. Some people would come in and others wouldn't, as we'd just pit. And so then even a 5, 6 lap tire advantage was huge.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And then I think at the end there were 3 different groups. You had the front 8, I believe, that were on the oldest tires, only by like 6 or 7 laps. Then the next 3 or 4 cars had like 1 and 2 lap old tires, and then the next 5 were on fresh.
Stopped on the right before the overtime. Yeah.
So it was really fun to see that and just the differing strategies that ended up made it really fun.
Yeah, and so we go to Richmond this week and we will be racing under the lights because the track temp was going to be like 120. I'm like, nah,
Yeah,
we can't do
practice
that.
you could drive it, but it was definitely greasy.
Yeah, so I'm just like, let's see, do I put the date when it's cooler and do a daytime, or do we just move this to like in real life and just put it under the lights and just said, screw it, we'll just put it under the lights. And
And I'll have another new livery. Got a one-off race.
oh yeah, yeah, matching the yeah, I saw you logged into Printful like really, really
Yep.
early this morning, and I'm like, uh-oh. Because it
Did
sends
you
the
see what I put
email.
up in Discord?
I did. Yeah, whenever one of us logs into Printful, it sends an email and says, "Did you just log in from?" And I'm like, "Uh-oh." I'm like, "What's he doing?" And then I see it this morning when I sign into Discord. I'm like, "Oh, of course."
So if you haven't seen it yet, for our drivers, check out Discord. There's going to be a new shirt available that I think is going to be kind of popular. I think a few people are going to pick this one up.
We we have yes. Amazing how a
I
parody
just need a
product.
I need a different I need a larger graphic just to make sure that the quality works out.
I can fix that actually. I
Then I'll
actually
make an
yeah,
adjustment. We'll put this thing live.
I can also that off color, the off-white color, I can remove that and just make a black with a transparent that you can put it on any light color shirt so you don't have to have that awful looks like you just sweat through your shirt color.
I thought it just made it more fun.
Uh, the
But
color of
we'll have some
it
varying
the
colors. That
color
way you
of
can
the
pick your favorite.
ad with that faded like newspaper look it actually gave it a really good look. But yeah, for a shirt, do
Yeah,
whatever
I
we
want to
got.
see just having a gray shirt and keeping that off color and just putting it on there. Just make it look old.
It's just like
There's gonna
cut
be a
out a
couple different
newspaper.
versions and pick your favorite.
I still like when this is the for those that don't know, it's a inside running joke we created just because of our incident with two brothers that happened to run with us that we've had repeated incidents with them on track and we created a spray to help repel them away from our cars. And it's
And it's
kind of
awesome because they're fully embracing it too.
yes, they fully embraced it and it's become this huge joke where it's like Connor wrecked John Miles at the end. He's like, well, apparently I didn't use any fuge spray. Oh my God. Like, yes, this joke is
Oh,
just
that's funny. Even
we're getting
others are
so much
starting
mileage
to
out of this.
put it on their bumpers and
All right, we got to wrap here. So next week we got a double feature with Iowa Speedway on Tuesday night. We've got Richmond on Wednesday. Good week of racing as we get here towards the end of our racing season at
yeah,
F Racing
Indy's been a
Online.
little sparse here, but we go back to back now
Yeah,
with Iowa and then our Hoosier 250
yeah, we're gonna have a
the
big
following week.
4 lap qualification, the 250 mile race. That'll be a lot of fun to close that season out. So at F
Yes.
Racing
Looking forward
Online,
to it.
fracingonline.com, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in. Take care.